Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was coming on. Let me shut the door for a minute. You coming in? I'm shutting the door. You want to come in? Yeah, come in. Come in. You lay on the floor. You can share. You can share. You can share. You can share. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, well, that was weird. How is everybody doing today? I'm going to try and come here with a more relaxed, how can you say it? A more relaxed something or other. I hope I brought all my equipment. I know I left some equipment at home. I know we don't, we're here. Are we wasting our time? Have we been here before? Do you know what magic I do? Right? We all have a magic, right? Otherwise, I don't think one of us would be here. Like magic is what? Like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Like I didn't know it before. I know it now. Must be magic. Must be, right? I mean, how do we look at magic? Right? Is it something that we contort, something we can actually see because we contorted a situation that you actually didn't see? I had you looking here, it was over here, and I barely moved my head at all, but I didn't see the screen. What did you find? Okay, did I say I found something? I actually did find something. I'm always finding things, so hold on a second. Joined. You found something I can see in your eyes. Okay. I found a couple of things I was looking at. I want to see if please tell me I brought that book with, please. I got two books going. One book is backwards. Okay, there's so many. What I like to find and what I do go to look for is whatever shows up in front of me. I have to start it small and I have to use this. This is my directive, these little squares. My other understanding of directives are geometric shapes. We can turn them inward, we can turn them outward, we can cut the corners off of a circle when we create the exterior of it, and we can create the corners that come with inside the circle as well. So it's all these little things. Little thing I put together this week was bringing Celsius. No, it was bringing the inches to. Right. So yeah, what I did learn this week, and it's pretty cool for myself because it's exciting, yet because I don't know enough about all the Bibles of the world, because I don't know enough about electricity, about plumbing, about the old system of hooking up the wires underneath the ground. They, everybody, at least from my day and age, I looked at it as bell. And for me, bell, ding dong, does the bell ring? Is it somebody that's dialing your phone number and it's going dring dring, not like the ding dong? Why is it a dring dring and a ding dong? Why are we using the D? Why can't it be a bing bang or something when somebody comes to your door? It's a bing bang other than a ding dong, Trying to figure that out, right? Because you have to figure out everything, because this is the algorithm. This is what I grew up with. This is what I saw. Did you see the same thing as me? If you didn't see it, I'll put what I saw aside just to see what algorithm you grew up under, to understand. Because as I understand, the what do you call it? The depth of perception starts here and goes all the way around and ends here, because the rest of it is here, right? So you make up for that end. That also is what looks like what the shoe horse is, and the 5 and the 2, or you can look at it as the 7 and the 2 in artwork. If I had it right now, and I really, really don't want to sell anybody anything just to say, well, this is what he said. No, it doesn't work that way. It can't work that way. I'd rather cry than and then tell you, yes, it works that way. No, it doesn't work that way. Somewhere along the lines, if you're recording these and you're if I was able to tell you, put it in this slot, next time I say this, it'll be in that slot. You'll see how the two match together. So it's almost like I've taken the whole entire planet And I'm looking at it and going, okay, what's fair? What's not fair? I want to find things that are really, really, really fair. Like if I show you this picture, right? Like above is below. Would that be fair, or would you just see the monkey? What is passing between the monkey, right? Bridging the gap, 2, 5, and 8, bridging of the gap between 1, 4, and 7, and 3, 6, and 9. Between, like I said, 1, 4, and 7, and 3, 6, and 9. And by the way, this is 4, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 into the lower worlds. Or this is 6. Wait a second. Yes, this is 6, 7, 8, 9. If this was on the telephone, this one would be 6, 7, 8, 9, and this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 6. Okay, this gap here. Also to let you know that when you look, okay, at all the fonts of the letter S, you can see inside the roundabout, okay, is the letter R inside the letter S. The letter R and the letter S, they tie themselves up together like being at the equator. You know the fine line of the equator in between the left and the right? Well, if you take off 5 yards on each side, no, you take off 10 yards on each side of that. And that would be the 20 yards of the equator in that area right there. That'd be between the 18th and 19th number of 36. Now, if I went to the equator through the alphabet, that equator would run at 135, and that equator will run through the sun. The alphabet equator runs through the sun. The 18.5 equator, which runs from 171, is it between, and I have to think of something. Is it 17.1 over to 18? Or is it all of 18 getting to 18.9 before it's 19, going from 0 to 1? That's the way we're counting, right? If we're counting 0 to 1, when you get to 18, you have used up all of 18 beginning at 17.1. It just so happens how perfect this is when adding up from 1 to 18, it equals to 171. This is the QJJ gate. Why QJJ? Okay. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 equals 7, and 6 equals to 13. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals to 3 and 4. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4 equals to 12, and 7 equals to 19. 19th letter is S. Now, I just lost my space because I was making up too much of a game out of this. I shouldn't have done that. I'm not happy that I did that. Bull ring. You know what's funny about bull ring, right? Is 1 is 47, 1 is 48, right? 7 and 8. 7 and 8 is like a rib. One would be a rib to the other, but since the house is split, Adam would be giving one rib, okay, and splitting the house. Rib splits the house, or can the ribs connect the house? Connecting from one side to the next. I'd have to think about that. And then can the rib be noted to be the backbone? But that I'm not sure if that would be said that way. And anyways, I don't want to look at that anyways, because I need to come to a numeric value of something in order to give it position. So just let me jump off of that for a second. I still forgot where I was. Man, I'm not happy about that. Yes, the JJ. So A, B, C, D. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. When you start at the area space that you are already at, and you do not count it, you will count 0, 1, 2, 3. So that 0, 1, 2, 3, which would be your 60, like 60 seconds on the clock. So now what we do here is when we get to the end, okay, where the 3 is, and now we count backwards where 3 is, but we start at 1, we go 1, 2, 3, and when we get to 0, we get to 4, and it becomes 40. And that 0, 40 is blue. Is that where the blue world comes in? I'm thinking of that. That's where the 10 comes in. That everything outside the circle, right? This side and this side, or this side and this side and this side and this side, everything outside that circle, the world. So we have the world of nothing, of all that is, because we are the one that is within. Otherwise, we would not. We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be discussing it. Nothing would be real because this conversation wouldn't be taking place. If and or buts. So let me get back to this JJ. So when you go A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, it equals to 10. 10 is J. Adding up four numbers, okay, is what is one half of the connected house, needing an operator or a place to operate from. And that would be the 5 position, would be the heart of the 9 areas or 9 positions, okay, of the grid that we use, right? We all know the grid that we use, right? So I must have left my phone upstairs, so everybody knows that we use a grid of 9. Right, that's our grid. Our grid is 9. So 9 on every face. If there's 9 on every face, right? 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. So if there's 3 here, right? And there's 4 around the ring, that'll equal to 12. And so does your year of 12 months. Like your 9 is your birth year, 12 is your birthday. So you're going around your birthday, your own pole all the time. So let me see what's here, what's written over here. I'm going to try and keep up if I could. Just give me a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. I got to go back. I just want to see this. I want to see, can I turn this on an angle? Oh, no. No, it doesn't work. Okay, so we'll just keep it here. I just want to read what came in the comments because I don't want to fall too far behind. So yeah, when you, there's 2 basic, actually there's a couple of ways to draw your circles or connect your created circles. I mean, for me, this is what I do. It doesn't mean that's the best way. I only can tell you what I know and what I do and why I do it and what I see from it when I do it. Is that when you create your first circle, right, and create a circle, I mean, you have the what's it called, right, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, whatever it is. When you start that circle, or I don't even want to do it that way, yeah, but okay, we will. So you do that circle and you put a square around on the outside, you put a square on the inside, you draw 2 lines, right? And when you draw the 2 lines through it, you could also put, squares all the way around it. After you get the first square, you can just square it off all the time. And now you can draw your other circles. There's a few ways to do it. Another thing is when you're drawing it with square paper, just with the square, you can connect either to an area that is separating the line, the fine line that separates 4 squares or a window. Or what you can do is you can take 4 area dots or spaces and draw a circle around each one using the separation of 4 area spaces, the area space to put your protractor to create your first circle. If you follow what I'm saying, yes? So let me just check this out over here. Okay, what if sun is 3D representative of a higher dimensional object? My question about, okay, now I don't really know too much about like if somebody said 3D, what I'm supposed to see, or 4D, multi-dimensional. 4D for me would be seeing through something, and I'm not sure if there's definitely a probability for sure. I mean, we're doing it already, The thing about the 3D and the tetrahedrons is the way they connect together. Also, 3 is a representation of 120 degrees, 1 separation between 2. When you look at 2D, what it is it's a block 8. You can create 1 block 8 to what you can get out of a 3D. Right, 2 by 2 by 2 is 8, 3 by 3 by 3 is 27. A 27 area space will move an 8 block space all around on the inside. Okay, there's a 2, 3, 4 area spaces, the basic heart. We also run that 432 as the 432 healing vibration. in which, of course, in between 432 is 5 and 1. So we're talking about what is Area 51. If I took a 5 that looks like an S and drew a line through it, that would be Area 51. It would look like a dollar sign. It would also show the percentage sign. At the same time, we'll show numbers 9 and 6. As well, when showing the percentage sign, the 8 will appear, but the 8 will appear on an angle. This is where the house comes in. This is where the queen comes in, because the queen, okay, is what is a percentage of the two houses. It's a divided house between the house of Bet and the house of Vet, the animal farm. The transition of the breath. Communication from, can I say, the exterior world, the electronic moon, can I say that? Can you say we're the orphan children? Can I say that? If I said look up, if I say look up something that would represent the universe, I would look up roulette. So I look up orphan roulette. And when I look up orphan roulette, right, you should really do it, like take 2 minutes and look up orphan roulette. Okay, you sent me 2 pictures. I'd have to see where they, okay, you just did now. Hello, X voice. How are you? How are you? So this is what I'm doing. I'm going upstairs for a glass of water. I'm going to show you a few pieces I did still in the works. I'm a little unhappy that I had forgot a book at home, very unhappy, and I don't know how I did that. And I'm also unhappy, I think it was the last book I was working with. I like this one. No, this one is not bad. This one's also a good piece. This one's okay. This is not bad. Let me see. I just want to see where we are. There was one piece okay, I got that piece there. Yeah, okay, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. I like the piece about 50 and 127. Huge. 127 coming together. Very huge. 12 and 7. Minus it and add it. You can't go any higher. You can't go any lower. You reach fire, fire. When you get to 19, you reach the fire. You reach Sagittarius with Capricorn. Capricorn is an association of A, B, C, D. It's an association with one gateway and one airway between 3 and 7. Right? It's also a connection into Pisces because 3C will connect to your first birth at C9. Your C9, okay, also representing the angel and a representation of the lower and upper house of Trinity. Why? Because the house of Trinity stops at 9. Right? The Aquarius house of 11, okay, the Aquarius house of 11 will be connected at what is 4 and 9 equals to 13. The corridor between 3 and 4 is a corridor. You can go 3-9, you can go 4-9. The male and the female both come off of creation. But if you're counting with your fingers, one up here and one down here, you see how they're connected? When you go down here, you're connecting both equally. If I filled this with water, I would ignite my rabbit ears. I'm going up for a glass of water and to get my phone. I'll be back. I hope I can stay on track. If you have any questions, but what I want to talk about first is what I just said. Remind me of number 9. Remind me of 127. 127. And right away, okay, it's a connection to Elohim. And put this for a thought. Has anybody ever thought of this? G7, J didn't exist. G7, J didn't exist. And the word Jesus, how did they write it? Come on, doggies. Come on, down. Coming? Come on. Let's go. At least down here, right, when I'm with them, they don't say a word. And when something's happening upstairs, I open the door and let them go, and it's still quiet down here. Right, guys? Lie down. I spoke to you earlier. Apparently, you're nervous because you were transmuted, right, from something else that was very nervous. The person working on with you, I think, spit in your juice and made you very, very nervous. And your buddy there, very jealous. Yes, very jealous. I don't know who's working on this dog, who created him, but it's all good. It's all good. You can lie down. You can lie down. I know you're here to help. Lie down. It's okay. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. It's okay. Don't cry. Don't cry. No, don't get nervous. You know, I can't do my work if you do that. I have trouble concentrating. Didn't you hear what my mother said to me? You got ADHD and we're not sure what's wrong with you? Why you go on TikTok all the time and keep sharing that information? You're cuckoo. Oh, come on. I'm not cuckoo. You can lie down. Lie down. Lie down. I'm not cuckoo. Don't worry. I'm not going away. I'm not going away. Yes, yes. Oh, look, here's the... Oh, hold on a second. We're going to take off this background here. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Wow, it won't let me take down the background. Add background without effect. How come it won't let me take down? Cancel. Add. Okay. That's better. That was stressing. That's you. You want to see you? Here you are. Lie down now. You saw yourself? Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. There you go. There you go. That's all it took. I knew he wanted to see whether or not I was talking to myself. He wasn't sure. Hi, Danielle. Okay, so I'm not sure where to go. I really come out here with usually no story. I come out and talk to myself. It's more fun when I get a little bit of interjection to see if others can capture what message I'm showing you about each piece, how each piece intertwines, why I use each piece. For instance, this piece over here, 50 inches is 127 centimeters. Now, why I was very interested in this number over here is because 3 times 4, 3 plus 4 equates to this number. Could I have done 10 inches? Yes, I could have. I needed to do a minimum of 12 inches, right? And I really didn't even try that. And why I wanted to see where I can divide my 3, where I can divide my 4, where I can divide my 2. I want to know where I can divide all these numbers. When you break something in half, when you break something into thirds like the Trinity, but thirds are like 6. Because this Y over here, right, represents 3 sides, okay? But in 3D represents 6. It represents this cube. It occupies 27 area spaces. Occupation of 27 area spaces. When this cube, okay, is based on 3 by 3 by 3, when it's based on 2 by 2, you will have 8 area spaces to this cube. 2 above, 2 below, and then on each side, there'll be 8. But when there's 8, there's this one and this one. This one You can put a fine point over here between then, and now you can run the protractor. You've hit, that's right, dead center. 2 by 2 equals to 4, but in a cube, it equals to 8. This one over here, it's a 3 by 3. And in a cube, it equals to 27. Ball, base. You know that the, 124? Well, no, 124 are the initials of the, apparently the new Pope that's going up there. 124, the initials. 124, 4127. Alpha, beta, 1 and 2 come together, right? So it's controlling between the mother, okay, and the father. The 1 and 2 coming mother, father. The 4 is going to be the house. So that's going to be delta. Delta is an angle, right? The delta angle, alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Anybody ever think about the G? Why do the Hebrews use the G as the third letter, and the French and the Spanish and the English all use the C? Does anybody else use the C, right? Use the C. Well, they split the C, didn't they? They split the C from the G. When you split the C from the G, the area that you still pass is the passageway between this side and that side. This side is 3, that side is 3, right? The C was going this way, but you cross through this way, right? What was the heavens, right, becomes the passage of I, the passage of 1. Between one plateau and the other plateau. Where are these pillars? Is it the 2 sides of the sea that raised as Moses passed on through? Here is G, here is C. When I pass the heaven's gate for creation, here is my delta angle. Here is my A, B, C, and D. And I become 6, right? I come here on the 6th day with the 1 for the touchdown. That's my 7. My reflection of 7 is 9, 4, 13. I am the birth at the gateway of creation on the delta angle. 9 and 4 is 13, unlike what is 3 and 9, 12. Running in the mutable. The female runs in the mutable. To have this male connection through the corridor, okay, running back into the cardinal sign, into the mutable sign to create the 13. 616 connects. When you connect the bottom to the upper 7, you need 3 and 3 for 6 plus 1 equaling to 7. Nothing passes 3 without having the gateway or the passage connect between one area space. When you have 1 between one area space, that is half represented by 5. 5 represents the E. Or Leo, or Scorpio if you're going backwards according to 12. Depending on which equation we're using. If we're using 12, well, the reverse of 12 and 1 is 13. If we're using 13, the reverse is 13 and 1. If you're using 14, it's 14 and 1. Now we know 14 can be divided twice by 7 to equal to 2. 2 and 7 is the house of Bait. I have to go find my dice. You see these 2 dots in the corners, right? The 3 and the 7, or the 1 and the 9? Which one? Different stories going on. Dice cube, schematic, alphabet, games science. What happens in game science? Hockey, 20 minutes a period. Different sports of 15 minutes. Other sports of 12 minutes. What's real? Is it the 15-minute sport? Or is it the 12-minute sport? Is it the 15-minute sport? Or is it 15 minutes? Or 1/4 of an hour? Equivalent to 12 minutes? Or beyond the arc in basketball? Or a 12-inch ruler? Alpha, beta comes together, 1 between 2 equaling to 3, 1 between 2 equaling to 3, 1 between 2 equaling to 3, and 1 between 2 equaling to 3. So how does it work with a 12-inch ruler when we run the law of 3-1-3, right? 1 between 2 equals to 3, 1 between 2 equals to 3, 1 between 2 equals to 3, and 1 between 2 equals to 3. So now how would I do this if I wanted to run 12 inches using 4? I'm not sure, unless it's 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 4, and 2, 2, 4. So then we'd end up with 3 and 4 in the same corridor, and we'd finish the ruler. Otherwise, I'd use 2 times 6. I have to see the way to get to the perfect number, to take away the decimal or find an algorithm that goes along with the decimal. Like one of the algorithms that goes, one of the algorithms wow, don't tell me I don't have it. It doesn't matter. Yes. Has anybody heard of pi? Delta. Delta dawn, what's that flower you got on? Could it be a painted rose from days gone by? And did I hear you say, okay, I'll be continuing on my way. Yeah, even though I didn't finish this yet. So maybe I'm not sure if I should enter to this yet. Okay, I'm not. I'm going to finish with this. Now, I didn't have to use 50. Why I used 50, I don't know. Maybe I should have used 60 for the clock. Maybe I should have used 100 for 100%. Maybe I should have used 10. I don't know why I chose this number. Okay, but I'm going to continue from this number because what it did tell me is 3 times 4, 3 plus 4, right? This is the L, this is the G, like LG Electronics. When you get this, what you get over here is 127. What was that number again? Hold on a second. Whoop, that's a phone. No, that's not a calculator. Yeah, so I was just trying to remember, where was I? Oh, I lost it. Oh, yeah, okay, over here. 6.35 was the number. So at 6.35, when I reduce this, I have, just for my own self, okay, 6.3 is the base cubic creation, okay? It's also the 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, okay, equals to 3 and 2. So when 1 and 2 go together to equal to 3, we have a total of 9 areas. We must use all 9 areas. So it becomes 3 and 6 comes the base creation of 9. 3 times 1, 3, 3 by 4, 12, 1 and 2, 3, 3 by 7, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 3, 3 by 2, 6, 3 by 5, 15, 1 and 5, 6, 3 by 8, 24, 2 and 4, 6. So you can see that only 3 and 6 come to creation. After that, within creation, we will create 9. My first 3 created was 3 by 3 equals to 9. Then my 3 by 6 is 18. 1 and 8 equals to 9. This is where 3 times 6, 18, and 3 plus 6 equals to 9, where 1 and 2 equals to 3, and that's where your base creation comes in. These two become a corridor. When the lower house, 6 and 1, connect to the upper house, 9 and 4, now we have a new mathematical equation. 9 and 4 is 13 to the upper realm, 6 and 1. Okay, sorry, 9 connects to the lower realm, corridor of 3, okay, to where the 6, okay, in the upper realm, 6, 7, 8, 9, where we also have to understand how we got to 6, right? Only these 3 will come into 6. $741, $852, those are the basis of the vibration. That is the basis of the vibration. Your 127 is the lowest of all 10s that you're going to get. When you switched over, right? When you switched over fire sign, earth sign, air sign. Now, when we move to the next fire sign from 1 to 5 or the next earth sign, okay, 2 to 6, check it out. 3 over to 7, the next air sign. That's my first 10 connect. This one was my first one to create 3. This is my first to create 8. My next one is my first to create 10. You're talking about October octagon. So 3 and 7, two air signs come together. One in the cardinal and one below in the mutable. G or Gimel or G for gamma. The 3 below, the 7 above. In order to connect, you need one area to connect this area. So it's a 3, 1, 3 equals 7 to connect. Although it's the 5 position over here, what you see is number 5. It is the center of all the other numbers. So count it as 1. It's 1 and all. It's 1 and what would be, did you follow what I'm saying? Plus 4 equals 5, plus 3 equals 5, plus 2 equals 5, minus 1 equals 5, plus 1 equals 5, minus 4 equals 5, plus 4 equals 5, minus 3 equals 5, plus 3 equals 5, minus 2 equals 5, plus 2 equals 5. The beginning, remember I told you 1, 2, 3, and 4? 1 and 4 is 5, 2 and 3 is 5. So if I start over here and don't count this position as anything, I can go 0, 1, 2, 3. Remember we did that before? See, if I would change this, anyways, I'm not going to get into that part, but do you see what I did? The neutral number. So what happens with 1 is any number multiplied by 1, okay? Any number multiplied by 1 will stay the same number. Any number, now I'm doing this because remember 1 and 2 have to come into 3, so we have to see what's happening. So any number multiplied by 2 will become double its number up to 4. 2 times 4 becomes 8, but it becomes half of itself when hitting 5. 2 times 5 is 10, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. Then it becomes 1.5 times itself when working with 3. When working with 6. 2 times 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. It only becomes 1.5 times itself. So 2 times 7 equals to 14, 1 and 4 is 5. Now it becomes 2.5 times itself. 2 times 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. Now it becomes 3.5 times itself. 2 times 9 is 18. Okay, did I get that? 1 and 8 is 9. Now it becomes 4.5 times itself. 4.5, 3.5, 2.5, 1.5. So what was that? Okay, so you got the drift of what's going on. So all these areas, because you see numbers, you might get a little mixed up. For me, okay, it's telling me what to do. They're actually blank spaces, but because they're numbers, it's actually a blueprint on what I need to do. Just give me a minute. Now I need to do this. So we already, now I don't know why, I don't understand why I don't have any, okay. For those who are here, we're 5 of us, right? You've seen these before. Would you think there's anything that, if I showed you something in here, something that's not hidden, it's here, would you think it was made or somebody knew, somebody was holding a secret? Maybe it means nothing. Maybe it's just a coincidence, right? Does anybody know about these two things? What do you know? Or maybe we'll pick a game. Monopoly. How about Monopoly, right? Right? You know about Monopoly? "13 and 7. Anybody know about 13 and 7 from the Sanskrit, from the Mayan calendar, from their clock of time? Let me see. The 260-day Hab of the Mayans. Did you know that when you add from 1 through to 13, it equals to 91? Did you know when you add from 14 to 26, which is another 13, equals to 260, that the average is 20? that the average to 91 with 13, okay, equals to 7. So it becomes 7, 13, and 20, the same numbers the Mayan use. Or maybe it's 26 for the average of 10 for the 26 letters in the alphabet. The second half of the alphabet equals to an average of 20 per letter. The first half of the alphabet equals to 91. Here is that clock. And the clock begins with 999,999, the day of rest. But on that day in this algorithm, there is no rest. And it's 1 in a million, and it goes by 6. It goes by 6. But it's not just 6, okay? There's 27 area spaces in this. It's a hexahedron, if I get it right. It's got 12 edges, 8 corners, 6 centers, and 1 heart for 27 area spaces. They call it the Earth molecule. When you divide this number by 7, and to note that the algorithm of a basic binary of 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, which looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th area, everything begins anew. So binary, okay, on every single level, this is base level binary, meaning I can put a 2 here, a 3 here, a 4 here, a 5 here, a 6 here, and I can just keep doubling up, because we have to understand all the rungs of the code. We need to have more rungs. All these numbers that we see, they're just skeleton. They're only what we can do. In order to get from 1 over to 2, it's 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, all the way to get to 1.9. Now I question myself. If I'm going all the way over to 2, will I be going 1 and 1/8? 1 and 1/16, 1 and 1/8, 1 and 3/16, 1 and 3/8. Why do I count this way? The ruler, the centimeters, the inches, the 16-part hash marks equaling to 800. If I use 60, it'll give me 960. I didn't do the centimeters. I'm going to have to look that up. Ruler comes in a 12-inch. I think it also comes in 30 centimeters. So I should have did that for my first basic connection. But I wanted to put something exact, but I didn't. So when we were talking about 12 before from Beyond the Arc basketball, this game is telling us about 12-minute periods. So you can call it a quarter, 12-minute quarters, because it is quarters, or can you select to use period? But in hockey, I use the period. The hockey, okay, becomes what is a trinity, and because there's only 3 periods. And you know there's 3 pucks, right? There's 3 puck-like items in a cube. If you were to slice this, right, you'd slice it 2 slices, You have 2 blocks. How do we slice this up in order to get the 26 area spaces is something new. Hello, good evening, Gareth. I think by you it's about 10:30 at night. The kids are in bed. Went down to the grocery store, picked up a few things, make sure everybody was smiling before I took my chance to get on. Anybody watching me now? But it's okay because I'm only here for the goodness of the system. Bringing everything together with the good hearts, the good breath, not spending any time in a place where it's only all about the ego, only about me, because in this time and age, although we still all have to get that time out to exhaust ourselves, I think it's the time that we put our breath towards the right thoughts. We can all do this individually in our own houses. We don't have to bow down. We don't have to bend onto the floor. If you're going to touch the floor, right, talk to yourself deep into the earth. If you're going to get to the ground, right, put yourself on the ground. No blanket underneath you, No blanket underneath you. Put your hands right on the ground. Feel that earth, rub it. Get yourself dirty. Even the cat tells us it's buried deep into the ground, all that information. So where were we with this next piece? So so this is where it comes in. So 1.25 times 12 equals to 15 minutes. So this is how I see that Beyond the Arc basketball, okay, brings me to 15 minutes. Now, how do I remove 5 minutes, right, from each period? How do I remove 5 minutes from each period to create a new period and create hockey instead of 3 periods into 4 periods of 15 minutes? Because right now every period has, so I need to get 5 out of 20. And what is that as the difference? 5, it's actually 5, 10, 15, 20, because it's all about the 5, right? This is where all the separation comes in. So you put down the letter E, you put down the letter T, you put down the letter O, you write a 10, you put down the letter J, you put 25, you put down the letter Y. So you get 5, 2, 6, 1, 7. So the basics, if we're going to find any kind of algorithm that goes with this, these are the numbers. 5, 2, 6, 1, 7. That goes along with the 5. And you know what's ironic about this? 5 and 2 is 7, 6 and 1 is 7. 5 and 2 is 7, we'll put ET over here, right? 6 and 1 is 7, so we'll put Joe over here, and then, Y is 7 within itself. That's the full division of everything. But where do these numbers come from? How can I create them and say you made that up or you didn't make that up? I'm going to show you how I make this up. You tell me what you think. When 1 stretches over to 9, I go through 5, put it on the side. I use the system. When 3 goes over to 7, I create 10, throw the 5 onto the side. When 6 goes over to 4, crossing over 5, throw it onto the side. When 2 goes over to 8, 10, went through 5, throw it on the side. So I went through the 5. How many times? 4 basic times I went through the 5. 1 time, 2 times, crossing right through, and the other time on this angle. Now, this is not the same thing, and this is not the same thing. When I'm crossing on this angle, I'm crossing what they call the guidelines of 22. When I'm crossing on this angle, it is the guidelines of 44, 44, 88. Where do I get this from? 1 over to 5, add 4. 5 over to 9, add 4. 3 over to 5, add 2. 5 over to 7, add 2. Going on this way, I create the fire, I create the earth, I create the water. But when I come over the other way, from 3 over to 7, I crisscross it all with air. Check, I went here, here, and here. But this way, all I went was this way. When I went this way, okay, when I went this way here, okay, I didn't bring the same element in. This is the water sign. Here I only moved by 2. I went from earth to water. Here I jumped over, okay, over the fire, okay, and into the air. Over the fire or through the fire and into the air. You can't have any energy when the two energies, when the hot and the cold match together. Isn't that when you start to have that friction, that energy? You know what's ironic? is that hot and cold is 34 and 43. They are the same corridor. They are the heart of this entire cube. There's no way. 1 over to 7. Sorry, 1 over to 6. Yellow, yellow. 7. 1 and 6, 7. 2 over to 5. 5 and 2, 7. What's in between? 3 and 4. Now this is the corridor. This one over here, you see it's the heart of everything over here. It's one of its own. It'll stick its candle right up on the menorah. Right? It sticks its candle on the menorah, but on this side over here, you only have 1. On this side, you have 4. This side here is now going to connect to this side over here. You see the cube ends over here, connecting through this gateway over here. Now when we expand it and we reflect the first 4 with the second 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 6 being on the other side. When you get 6 and 9, 15, and 7 and 8, 15, 7 and 8 is your communication between 1 and 2. 9 is a total of all. 9 is the total of all. Therefore, 1 plays inside 9, creating what is 8 and 1, 9. 8 and 1, 9. 1 and 9, okay, is connecting yourself from the lower area to the upper area through the virtue of the candlestick 5. So you can see the way 2 and 8 will plug together. You see the blue line, 2 and 8. Here's where your air line plugs in, your air sign, right? When your air sign plugs in over here, the 3 and the 7 through 10, you have 4, 5, 6, the Federation. The number 3 on your telephone, the FED 4, 5, and 6. 4 times 5 is 20 times 6 is 120. Adding from 1, okay, adding from 1 through 15 equals to that 120. 120 to 10. This is the game of pool. This is the 7th gate. This is the Federation. In the game of cribbage, okay, the highest points you can get with 3 individual cards like this, okay, is going to be 5. It's the only one that does it. It's 3 points plus a 15. 15 represents what is the air passage into Saturn square. 15, 2, 3, and 4, vibration passes between. 4 times 5 times 6 is 120. 4 plus 5 plus 6 equals to 15. Plus 120 is 135. We rotate between 1, 3, and 5. They're the only heads on the horses. The 1, the 3, and the 5. So, whoop, where'd that go? The 1, where's that 1 now? The 1, the 3, and the 5. The only ones that support the area core. What would you evaluate this, right? There's 8 around, right? 8 times 1/8 equals to the heart. And like I spoke before, back to the ruler. When it comes to the inch ruler, I just want to bring this thing again. When it comes to the inch ruler, they're showing 16 parts and one is bigger than the other, looking like Li or Lilith. And when you're looking at the centimeters, they're running 10 of them, all the same thing, which tells me, okay, or adds on to an idea that in football, they have 10 integers or 10 parts before they reach the 10-yard line, right? So they're using that as 10. They're using the element of the metric system in the inch, in the place where the inches should go. And it shows me a bigger line. So Lilith, okay, would end up to be L. And okay, now I'm using the short line. So it'd be L-I-I-I-I, right? For each one. Well, it only be the I when the football moves. You know what I'm saying? It'd only be the I when the football moves. So it'll be 4 little I's, be 36. And then the big one, what would be the separation? Would it, what, so there's, it's a little complicated. And anyways, I don't have the result. It's not going to change anything right now. So I use the basis of the 15 minutes over, of the 12 minutes over anything at the beginning, because the sports are 12 minutes for basketball. And the ruler is 12 inches and the 12 zodiac signs. When do we use 15? Why do we use 15? The holder of the vibration is 15, or area 51. Also to note that the lower house and the upper house, the lower house goes 1 to 5, 2, 3, 4 in between, and the upper part, like above is below, is 5 through 9 with 6, 7, 8 in between. Where 8 and 2, where 7 and 3, and 4 and 6 will create 10, 10, 10. That's the basic star. 3 lines out of a possible 4. 3 lines out of a possible 4. That's this house. The same corridor between 3 and 4. It's the way it is. Not me. You saw it on the dice. You tell me different. When there's one area space and we split it in half, that becomes 0.5. There's no other that does this. It's 0.5, 1.5, and 2.5. So it becomes E, O, so you think maybe this was the first, because Joe and John didn't exist, because there was no J in the alphabet. So we had no Joe and we had no John. I wonder if we had toilet paper. Yeah, so we have Yo, which is the 25th, the 15th, and the 5th. And the thing, remember that? When we jump through the area, we have 3, 5. Oh, this is extremely interesting. Check this out. Now, why I marked this? Okay, this is crazy. 7, 6, 5, right? 5 times 5, 3 times 5, 1 times 5. 2 times 5, 4 times 5, and 6 times 5. We get this, we get this, and we get this. I'm not sure what to make of this yet. Okay, I'm really not sure. Points of departure, I know that. They're all points of departure. Yeah, all points of departure. This one over here, this would be 1, this would be 2, this would be 3, 2, 4, and 6. I'm not explaining that probably. Where does the 2, 4, 6 come from? In between the 1, 3, and 5. Where did the 1, 3, and 5 come from? This is 2 times 5, 10. 4 times 5, 20. 6 times 5, 30. 5 times 5, 25. 3 times 5, 15. 1 times 5, 5. I'm saying this and I'm talking about this, as they said many times, I've run into, J didn't exist in the time of Jesus. So how did they, if they couldn't transcribe his name properly, where else have they made a mistake, right? So we have 7, 6, 5. Over here we have 3, 2, 1. 2, 4, 6 equals to 12, and 7, 6, 5 equals to 18. Oh, that is very interesting. The left side equals to 12. Left side of 1, 4, 7 equals to 12. The right side of 3, 6, 9 equals to 18. 1.5 times the difference is the 3, 6, is what comes from. See, this side over here moves into this side. This becomes 1.5 becomes this. 3 becomes this. 4.5 becomes this. How they transmit into each. 6 times 5 is 30. It becomes that. 5 times 1.20 becomes that. Or 5 times 12 equals 60 becomes that. This is where those zodiac signs come in at 11. And the zodiac signs, okay, the in-between of the two sets of 6 of zodiac signs is at 6.5. When we come into the 7th inning stretch, it's at 6.5. Now here's another one. Remember, 1 and 2 for 3 before we create, right? 3 and 4 will connect. 3 and 4 will connect. 5 and 2 will connect. 5 and 2 will connect. 1 and 6, same corridor, right? So when I run these corridors, everything is passing through here, these two numbers, in order to get where they're going. Try and look at this on an angle if you could, right? So this is what we're going to do next. If the lower world was all sevens through the cube, where in the world did this place go? Well, if the difference between 1 and 6 is plus 5, well, the difference between 4 and 9, same angle, plus 5. What is 1 and 6 is like 4 and 9. Here's this angle from 3, okay? Like from 3 over to 4 was 7. 1 is the difference. 6 over to 7, 1 the difference. When 2 went into 5, 7 by 3, 8, 5 plus 3 equals to 8. So the same scenario above is below. 1 and 6, 7 equivalent to 4 and 9, 13. 3 and 4, 7 equivalent to 6 and 7, 13. 2 and 5, 7 equivalent to 5 and 8, 13. Corridor. Corridor.
Here he is. Oh, liking the presentation, huh?
It's good. I'm doing okay.
Yeah. I see what you're doing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm trying to.
I still love your show though. You know what I mean? But you go.
Thanks. Listen. Listen. It's not really. None of it is. I mean, none of it is really just for me. What am I going to do here if it was just for me? You know what I'm saying? This is.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever I did. This is just from other people's work. I was looking at some of this stuff the other day.
It's almost like you sort of you're really getting it together, mate. It's
Well, then this is not me. This is somebody else, right?
yeah.
But you do know what I do is I look at what everybody else does to broaden their own minds. If we can just come together, I can just sit in a room. I see there are so many people. I mean, 1 year ago today, forget it. I didn't see anything like this going on anywhere. Now I'm seeing a lot of people doing what I'm doing. Others are doing it a different way, where they're aligning religion and a little bit with numbers, or they're going with the word play. A lot of them are really like stretching it, right? A lot of them don't bring a lot of. You have to bring to the door. Explain this to me how you see, and it's got to be very simple and logical, and then it can't be questioned because I don't have any final answers. Zero final answers except for the math. I don't have any final answers, but I did say that the letter A, when you look at Aurora, take a look at that letter A. Now, there's two things. Because it has a point in the center of it, and because it has thickness, it might be telling me two stories. Okay, either it is a window ace, okay, or it goes along with the pentagram, the octagon, and the hexagon. The minute there's a straight line involved, okay, in an object, or separation, it's going to create a heart line, which is going to create a cigale. These cigales are what moves up into the what's it called? That's the way my roulette is all designed by basic cigales. The minute you start to create O's and X's, okay, so the
I
X's
like
would. Yeah, go ahead.
We're in this little vibe going on there, man. That was it. Talking each other out, eh? So what's it? So this is the Mayan calendar there.
Yeah, this is.
Getting
I just wanted, before I got there, just wanted to finish with the thing I was talking about, 12. So I tried to understand, why did we bring hockey in at 20 minutes? And I want to understand. I need to bring hockey down to 12 minutes. I need to bring hockey into 15 minutes. These are the two basic sports. I'm going to bring hockey. Hockey is easy. Most sports are easy to move all against soccer, because soccer's got to 90 minutes. Soccer is bringing the two playing fields together, and they're bringing out all the flags. So soccer is really huge, because 90
That's one
is huge.
thing, because with soccer, obviously, I suppose it's you can even see it in the pitch itself, really, can't you? All in the lines. You Does it work for the size of the goal and stuff like that? Where does it, or is it a fold? Does it
Oh,
unfold?
okay. Well, first of all, it starts right away with what everybody knows. Everything has to start with the complete basic where you don't need to think. What gets you interested? How many players on the field?
Hmm. I don't.
Okay. How many players are you allowed on the bench? We can get to the size of the field. We can get to the size of the goalpost. We can go where the center line is. Then, what are the penalties like? What are the different flags for? What are the colors of the flags?
Mm.
So we can use this, okay, to understand words because they might use a word in there and give a reason for using that word. And remember, I'm on the other side of the world now. I have to see what they did on this side of the world. They changed words into French. There's a lot of French. Oh, that's good. Yes, they have it in France. That's good. Okay. But they've changed it. Our words out here are not the same as the words out there. They're saying it differently. Like the other day, there was a gentleman speaking. He kept talking about the trees and the trees. And I'm going, everything's a tree. So we all know the trinity of the trees, the basic
To
three
be
elements
with
of,
a, like a silent H, is it? Or
yeah, the silent H. Yes, the silent H, the TH, the GH, the PH. You know, PH and GH both will represent F. And you know what's really funny about that is the total of their numerical value does also.
with
That's
the UK has just announced last week now that we've approved. Well, we haven't. The UK's approved. Uh, they're calling it sun dimming. All right, so they're gonna. So they've been doing. I mean, it's been happening for a while, right? But it's starting next week where they're going to be experimenting according to the papers now, right? But they're using salt and salt water, putting that into the sky to dim the sun and reflect the sun out. I think that's but you said pH, Joanne, and it was yeah, it's that brought me down to the soil.
Yeah, so what you know what I think is going to happen? You know, the salt, I mean, the salt does a lot of things. It does a lot of cleansing. But that, I mean, don't they can what happens if you put salt into diesel? Because
Mm.
because for many
Does
many
it
years,
crystallize or
yeah, because the word diesel, right? If you read it in French, it says salt, a disalt.
ah, clever. Yeah.
So I saw and they keep associating. They've been getting us ready for the letters D and D and I 49. 49 is bringing on a birth, bringing on like a new chain, like around your ring, like your finger. So a new marriage, a new bond with that. That's what comes along with it. So
But Jenny's saying salt treaty down in the bottom.
I have to, okay, I'm 25 messages behind. Whoa. And now I'm 28 messages behind. Whoa, whoa. You know what the system is, the system is here is only to twist our minds so we can't read everything we're doing, eh?
You got it. It always moves too fast. It does at the moment.
Thank you, Jenny. Yes, hockey tonight, Sunday hockey. My nephew plays hockey. Silent H, yes. I'm just lean, yes. 49, 930, yes. 930, 540, 570. Oh, yes, very big, very, very, very big. So when you go to 930, your first pronunciation is 9 by 6. It's 54, you touch the sun. Plus the 30, okay, now you get 57, you touch the moon. So 9 to 9:30, you touch between the sun and the moon. So you have the whole clock that goes around because it becomes the sundial in 1 sun hour. So that's very good. That 93 also represents the lower house and the upper house because the upper house of 4 is in 1/3 of the lower house of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. What is equivalent to the upper house of 6, 7, 8, 9 equals to 30, where 6 and 9 and 7 and 8 equals to 15, 15, plus the 10 of the lower house. You got 40. Next point, somebody wins in tennis. So you had somebody wanted to get a screenshot of this. So I'm just going to see what else is on my list over here. I mean, even when you go to the 2-minute penalty, it's the house of bait. So it's not a 1-minute penalty. The penalty is on the action, right? It's not or is it on your choice, right? Is it the choice of your action why you get the 2-minute penalty? Why we get the 5-minute fighting penalty? You can't hold on to your ocean, right? 2 and 5 go together.
And you end up in the sin bin, don't you?
The sin bin. What's a sin bin?
Is that the little penalty box, I suppose?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. So yesterday I was looking at this place. They have what is called A&W.
Right.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
So they have an A, and then they have an ampersand, and then they have W. You know the ampersand? Oh, 1717.
No.
1717, the ampersand. There's this new guy out there claiming. Okay. Some guy's claiming to be. Here it is.
Ampersand, right. A&W. Right, okay. Burger shop.
Yeah, one side is bigger than the other. You know, the A sometimes, if you chop off a leg, it looks like a 4. But if you chop off the other leg at one certain point, it'll look like the F.
Because what happens if you split the eye? You split the eye, you get I think you split the eye, split the A.
Right, you split the A at the bar, or at the top, you get the left side and the right side. The minute you cross through this bar, through here, you have the right angle, the left angle. You split this bar in half, you have what you call the animal sign. Right? When you split something, when you look at angles, right? What represents angle? And it's the L.
Ah.
What represents angle? Does the L represent angle?
Yeah, I mean, does it go back? You got that sort of Sanskrit as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So you can see it's the 90 angle representing the 9I. Thank you, Wadek. So it's the I representing the 9. Yes. I don't know who wants to come up, but I'll bring whoever is coming up in a couple of minutes. I want to go over this. So right away on day 6, day of Genesis, they bring up land, animal, and man. They both have the and in with it. The other one connects the L before it connects the A and D. Also can be used number 19 times 6, 114. That number 19 also is what splits the left with the right house. It brings Capricorn into Sagittarius. It brings the fire sign, right, into what is it, the Capricorn. I'm just having a little trouble concentrating when I look at the screen. I have to look down and not at the screen sometimes.
I suppose you see sort of DNA, don't you? DNA in the land, or
Yeah, somebody wanted to come up and I just missed them. I went to get them and they just disappeared. So, and they're not showing me everybody. So for those whoever wants to come up, I don't see everybody's name. I want to let you know they block. They only show me 3 people. They show me 9 up there, but they only show me 3 down at the bottom. Guess. Check.
a lot
I don't know if you can see my mirror, but I'm going to show you my camera. You see my camera?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on a second. I know what to do.
You seem to be getting issues with messages as well. When you
Here, I'm going to show you. Check this out.
Potentially.
These are the people on my page right now. But it says 8 in the corner.
I was in we had a bit earlier on, so it depends on how sincere somebody was.
Oh no, it's Wadak. He's very sincere.
Oh no, it was not Wadak. But it was someone had sent a message to somebody, and the other person said, I hadn't got that message at all, right? So if he was being genuine, he never received the message, so it almost looked like something was playing games a little bit if everyone was being
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's definitely something wrong. Listen. It's been a couple of weeks. For myself, I don't know how to take what's off here. Yeah, for myself, the last 10 days, I had a lot of gas in my stomach. I don't know what it was. If it was the nuts I was eating, had a lot of trouble concentrating. Um, Now all of a sudden, I don't know. I stopped eating the nuts. I don't feel that anymore. The last 2 weeks, I have better. I'm more capable of concentrating on the thoughts of what I read. And when I'm here, I take it a little bit different because I can't. I mean, because we're going out to watch the game soon. I'm leaving in like 12 or 15 minutes,
Oh,
whatever.
is it? Oh, okay. Where are
I'm
you
coming
going?
back after that, after the game.
Where, what are you watching?
It's going to be like 9:30 or that I'm going to come back or something like that, 10. So I have one phone call to make. It's hard to fit everything in, you know. I'm not going to make everybody happy. I don't think that's a good way to put it, you know. I can't be there in the happiness of others,
No, it can't be everywhere, you know what I mean?
you
Not all the
know.
time. Like,
So yeah, so where was I with this? What were you saying? Yes, so they were going to do something near you. What was that again? You said they were going to be doing what?
so they've been doing it for a while. Thank you, Wadak, man. You should, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
why? I mean, but his
hope
name's
you're
not
well.
here. How do
Oh,
I
is
get him
it?
up?
Ah,
He's not on here anywhere.
is it?
Oh no,
Try try requesting, right, if you wanted to. Then up to Mr. Tap Hands, obviously. But
no, no. I'm telling you, I'm mod add Mark viewer. Here, we can do that. They just won't. I don't understand. Thank you for the gifts. It's okay. It's okay. I would invite you up if you would show up. What I suggest you do is go off the page and come back because that I mean I don't see
it
anything
might
over
be,
here.
unless more people are using private accounts.
And it wouldn't show up because there's only four
Po-
viewers
poss
on right now.
Possibly, maybe.
So I did the ruler thing. We talked about the sports in basic general. I like to look at soccer as two sides of the field, and I also like to compare it to REM sleep. Okay, I like to
REM's.
use the two 45-minute periods as 45 is for the word fox, and that's what gives the separation into the sixth house. 54 is the sun, which comes out of the female. That's that nine passing. I'm just trying to see what am I talking about? But remind me, what's going on here? Where was I? What? Oh yes. Okay. So the
Oh, the
nine is the
sun.
field.
You
I'm
wanted
having
to talk.
trouble thinking without a pen. Okay, I got my pen. Phew. Okay. So we got the 45, 45, right? So
Yeah.
we have the Fox passage. We also have the Sun pass because on one side it's 45, the other side becomes 54. One is 6 by 9, the other's 9 by 6. You know, if one is 9 by 6, 9 feet high, 6 feet wide, 6 feet wide, 9 feet high. So we got that. We got the 90s. So we also have the REM sleep in the 90s. We also have, when we get soccer, we get all the nines. All four houses come in. 9 and 18, a reflection of 27 and 36.
And what are the four houses?
Well, just A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D. Yeah.
And then if you want to reflect it, we're going to go upstairs and we're going to go F, G, H, I. F, G, really you go F, G, H. The A, the E, and the I, all the fire signs are what hold the vibration, or everything is condensed. The 2, 3, 4 is condensed with the 6, 7, 8. There, that's how you create the power.
When you connect the 6, 7, 6, 7, 8. Looking down the bottom right, yeah, 6, 7. 2, 3,
10,
4.
10, 10.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Make it.
70 XXX, 10 times 10 times 10, 1,000, and 30.
Yeah.
They're also the 24th letter in the alphabet times 3. Inside of the 3 here connecting them, the area space that's empty will be an O on its side pointed upwards, equaling to the 15 and 15 is 30. But that's just, that you can do to a lot of it. And that's not a math. That's you can do it to a lot of stuff. You can do that to the entire flower of life. But when they're creating this flower of life, if you don't put a grid in the back line to it, right, you can put a grid right over it and it can explain more inside of it what you do than what they're doing. I mean, but you're going to make your own grid out of it. But at least you'll understand the area space, that grid we use with this square paper over here. Let me see if, why don't, he's, Mr. Wadek is not here. Yesterday there was a show, Sons of God, and he was talking about how the pineal gland is everything, and he can prove it, and this and that. And I tried to get up on his show, and I wanted to back him up with what he was saying because he didn't use a lot of. It was a lot of because of this and because of that. I can say because of this and because of that. There's still no backing for it, But he did have. It was good backing. But I wanted to add some of the numbers that go along with it. Then the people would say, "Oh my God," because he was talking about things that totaled 6 and 7, tons of it. And what is 6 and 7? I'll show you 6 and 7. Not in this, but from games, right? This is 6. Whoop. I have to take the back screen off. I'll explain that back screen after. From 6 and 7, it's this. The bullseye is the 7. What goes around the bullseye is 6 all around. But that's based off of this.
So what was that? The bullseye was 7.
According to Monopoly, the bullseye is the 7.
Yeah, right. And why is it 7?
It'd be really cool. There's a glass table here. If I put my camera down and hold my phone under it.
That'd be awesome. Liz, I'd like to. I got a 3D printer, so I could. It was funny that your cube phone stand.
Oh yes, my phone stand. I got my phone stand today.
I'd love to be able to print you something off. Really, I dread to think what it would cost though to send over. That's awesome.
Ape.
So your character, you think it's got your touch.
There's so many things, Like if you printed this shirt and say, "My soul and spirit are harmonizing with the earth." If each one of you think that the breath is just a breath, think again. This is our direct connection to the overseeing angels. This is the face of God.
Because on the letter, it almost looks. So is there a reason why the two faces connecting together? Where they're looking?
Well, they're both connected to the earth. You're connected to the earth. You pull down your energy into you through your breath. It comes out of the earth. The breath is everywhere. The breath right here. When you close your eyes and you concentrate, when you go deep into thought, and it's very hard because we're not. For me, I don't believe, and I don't like to say I don't believe, but I don't think we're picking up the proper vibration of this planet. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting the proper. I don't know why in the world am I not finding what I find all the time. I have to erase some stuff here. Oh, okay. I'll do this one here. I'll do this one here. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All around the core here, this one is 7. 1, 3, 5, 7 are all heart positions. Now, when you go to the deck of cards and look at the 7, it's not like the 1, it's not like the 3, it's not like the 5, because there's a possibility that this board is not large enough. That when I make it larger, the 7th area won't reach here. The 7th area might reach over here. This would be the 8th area. This would be the 9th area. So the house of creation would begin over here and it would end over here. And there would be a borderline on the outside here of one more area equaling to the 14th space. Sorry, equaling to the 15th space. I put one borderline all the way around, I get a 15 space. If I put a borderline here and nothing here, I can put an extra wing here. I don't need to put a wing on each. I'm talking going from here all the way around to here. I don't need to put anything. I'll just put one over here. So this side, okay, will punch itself out, and this one will be 7. But this side won't. So it'll be, this will be 8 to the center. This will be 7 to the center. So I can offset. So then my 7th gate will be here. And then we'd have all this around. But I have to do the dimensions and understand. But that here, okay, is, when you count, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7th area. 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th area. 7th area. 7th area from every single corner are the trains. That's the way it's played from outside the world to the onlooker. But when you're in the game and you're sitting on this area over here becomes number 6. And when you're sitting on this area, they all become 6s. You have to be standing here for it to be number 7. I'm talking block area, space area. But in all actuality, when you count area space, one area space, 2, 3, 4, 5, it becomes the 6th area. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yep.
So this becomes 2 and 4 equals to 6. 2 and 4 become 6. They all become 77. They all meet. So it's really, you have to think from whose perspective.
Yeah.
Whose perspective is the question.
Would it depend on what way you're looking at it? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can send Wadak something to see if he, like, you know what? I don't like the system. Let's fight the system.
He likes, he's mentioned down the bottom about, he says, let him talk deeply regarding number 19.
His name doesn't even show up on my things here. Eh? Crazy, eh? Well, I don't even know. I can't even find let me see. Here. Oh no, not here. Here. Wow.
I've sent him an invite. I wonder if it makes any difference. I'm not sure if he's still.
It won't even show up in my paper
here
here.
Or not, but...
Won't even show up here. Doesn't even show up.
Because I know sometimes with private accounts, that can get a little bit tasty, sort of thing.
So where was I with this? Yeah. So number 19, okay, is on every side of every corner, and his property are owned to the 20th area. 19 connect to 20. ST, signal testing system. When this area over here needs to move, once you reach all the way to the center, we need to see what angle chops off and reaches the center. Will this angle chop the center without interfering? This is where the 219 and 19 comes in. 19 and 19 comes in. 19 and 19 comes in. When you reach 19 over 36, if we do base things on 360, you will cross over the 180 mark into the 190 mark, in which you will call the equator. The 10 parts of 18 and the 10 parts of 19, all of 18 and all of 19, right, is that fine line between the above and below. They can both be equated to look like 19 from the above crossing over 10 degrees into the lower world, and the lower world crossing 10 degrees into the upper world, creating a bubble wrap. Have you ever
Bubble
seen,
wrap.
yeah, bubble wrap, the way gum is tied up? I'm gonna see if I can do this. Wow, I am so bad. I am so bad, and it ain't the first time I drew this, so.
Wadak's back in the room. Try inviting Wadak now.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I want to see if I can. How come I can't? What's happening here? This, oh, wait a second. Okay, okay, hold on a second. Okay.
Yeah, he's still here.
Okay, I'm not happy. I'm sort of rushing through this. I don't like what I'm doing here. Okay, this is the bubble wrap.
Oh, so almost like yeah, okay.
You twist this end here. You
Yeah,
twist
yeah.
this end one way. You twist the ends, and you have your bubble gum. So what it happens is you twist in an area space here, not where it comes to the thing here. The question is, should I be closing it here? And you're closing it here, showing that there's something in between here. Now, if I close it here on this line here, I'm not quite sure what it's going to show you. Okay, let's see. So how come he's not asking to come up? I don't get it. Hold on a second.
He looks like he's battling down in the comments.
Wait, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something. I want to see if it'll work. Hold on a second. Okay, I reset everything, and he still doesn't show up.
Not sure.
Okay, hold on, let me
he
check
says okay.
settings. Let me just check for his name. If he's on my, hold on a second. Grid, panel, board, wallpaper. Allow requests, allow moderators. Allow moderators. Just let me see something. Does he have a private account?
He's in the comments saying request. Have you requested Wadak?
Okay, he's got a private account. That's why.
That'd be why you can't. He may have to request.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, he's got a private account. That's
But he
why.
has. He says he has requested though.
Well, nothing shows up. Maybe because I also try to follow him, and it won't let me follow him either.
Let me drop down. I'll drop down quick, and then.
Do you want to
I'll drop
see
down
what's
quick
on my
to check it
screen?
around.
Look, I'm gonna look at this. Watch what I do. Watch this 1 second. Oh no, I got to turn it around. Okay, you can see my screen, this corner, right? Watch.
Yeah.
Follow back. Nothing comes up. You see, look.
That's a bit. Hang on, a bit reflective. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't show up. So go down and I don't even get his
I'll drop
account
and then do it again. All right.
So, good morning. Yeah, somebody just made a comment to me. No extra day, just 13 months, 28 days, 364 days in a year. There's more to it. Hands of Time. Is it, I mean, for me, I mean, when you look at things, really, there's others that play with words, and when it comes to the Hands of Time, right? The Hands of Time also fit into what again? DNA.
To be
No,
fair, I dropped out
it's
then,
going.
and it took me. Usually when you come out, it will still kind of keep you in the live. It took me right the way back to my FYP then, like entire. Hey, yeah, entirely out.
Yeah,
Yes,
finally made it in.
We done
yes,
it.
Gareth. Yes, Mr. Techpants.
How's it
Yes.
going, what
Good
up?
afternoon.
Good
I'm going to
after.
be
How are
going
you?
to be leaving soon to my nephew's game, so we're going to be here like another 12 minutes, let's say. I already passed my time, but I can hold
I
on
was
to it.
listening to you. I was requesting the whole time. I wanted to join and to discuss regarding your topic, you and Gareth, but somehow I don't know what's the case. I don't know. I was requesting the whole time. Do you know, Gareth? I was requesting the whole
The
time.
TikTok's
Yeah.
getting really funky, mate. Can you remember earlier on with Spirit
Yeah, the
Club?
glitching, yeah, what happened like in front of our eyes. Like we had a conversation today, me, Gareth, and other people like Spiritual Gangster, and somehow his computer, like his laptop went glitching in front of our eyes for no reason. Yeah, remember?
Yeah, and then there was, I said, depending on how honest the other person was being, there was messages being sent out, prove them, and then apparently those messages weren't turning up. But like it's almost well, an algorithm's a powerful thing, isn't it?
I see, I see, I see. Who, who's
Just
that?
eating for the first time today, I'm at 20 to 11, and I'm just the first bit I've had to eat today. I'm starving.
This is a
What is it?
king showed up on top of my head while I was doing a video.
Gareth, sometimes I do the same when I'm I do long shifts, one of them ones. Like I don't eat for the whole time, then at the end of the day, I have like good munch. You get me? One of the late ones.
Yeah, man,
It's
all
good.
day.
It's
You
good.
sort
Like
of
to
pass
keep
the
on
hunger,
water.
then you go past it.
Yeah, sometimes you get hydrated. Like I just drink water the whole time. Get some fruits, get like coconut, peach, apple, those kind of stuff. Like they make you going on. Like it's good for your health as well. Understand? Yeah.
Yeah. Was that? Did
So
you say that was a king above your head, Mr. Tap Dancer?
coconut.
What's
Yeah.
that? Yeah, that
A
was
king above your head.
just
You were
just a
showing.
crazy. I'm just sitting in my chair, and then this shows up behind me, and just made no sense. I was looking for other things that number 19. Okay, first of all, number 19, 10, and 9, right? One of the things about 19 or number 9, it goes with the letter R. Okay, the letter R, yes, the letter R, the letter I goes together. When you have the R and I, I'm just trying to think.
Can I tell Gareth stuff? Gareth, if you know GG33, have you heard about GG33? Have you heard
Go
about
on, go on, go on. Explain it. If you want.
the guy, GG33? The guy is American guy, he's an influencer, is actually famous guy. He goes to podcasts, different kind of podcast. He does like with Angel Tate, all over the influencers. Do you get the point? So he was
Yeah,
talking
the key
regarding.
characters, like yeah.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, he was talking about the three religions regarding Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. He said the Quran, they worship three demons. That's why he says, like for example, God Ra in Egypt mythology.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they see Quran has R-A, uh, Ramadan has R-A, Christianity has ISIS, the Egyptian mythology, Christ, Bible. You see, that's what
Yeah.
he says. What do you think? What do you think regarding this topic? He was like moving crazy with it, and people actually believe in what he says. I can't remember every details of it, but he was like in that realm. He's talking about the Quran has Ra representing Ra God. The Do you know which god I'm referring to? Egyptian one.
Yeah, Ra. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's crazy. I don't
Ra.
know. It's Ramadan, and there is scripture starting with Alif Lam Ra, those kind of frequency and sound. I don't know, but what was you about to say regarding number 19?
Okay,
Because
first of all, this number raw RA is a total of 19, right? This guy GG33 doesn't take any messages from me. He's got tons and tons. He started about 12 years ago. He's got 1,000 people that he works with, right? He's a very big talker, very, very big. He's arrogant, right? His work, I mean, how can you not get good information like he has? And the reason he has it, number one, I know they're following a lot of our work and picking up from what others say. So they're picking up about the algorithm that's out there. You know, I've had some of his people in my group, you know. A year ago, this guy would talk nothing about adding the alphabet to it. 1 year later, after 1 year, all of a sudden he's adding this alphabet like out of nowhere. So he's also using a lot of algorithms that are just by the nature of things and just what anybody can figure out, right? The thing about him is he's very quick. He basically knows the numerology of everything. He doesn't know the backdoor numerology. He brags a lot about going to the casino and cleaning them out for 2 million before he tells you a story that he lost 100 grand. Well, every 10 people or every 15 people will walk into a casino and walk out with 20 times their money because that's all he did. It's no big deal. But you know what? He throws money down escalators and elevators, and you know, he just does a lot of that circus act, right? But he does know his stuff. He really does. Now, when he comes to Ramadan, tell me again what he said about that.
he's like basically trying to say in do you see those three religion? These religion are actually representing three demons that actually control this universe. So he's trying to say that there is a prime creator that has nothing to do with religion. Is there? He never created this universe, but who has fully control from upon this world is like three demons. One of them is Isis. Have you heard about Isis, the mythology, Egyptian mythology? Osiris, yeah?
So
Osiris,
listen, the
Ra,
the, the letters
Ra.
IS, Islam, ISIS, Isaac, Ishmael. That's a combination of RH blood from beyond the wall, from beyond this realm. Okay. Now this guy is also, every religion, okay, has a demon. Every single one. You could not have anything that is good from something without having something that is not good. If there is no opposition, the plane will not leave the ground.
I see. But what I'm trying to say, like, I don't believe what this guy says, but it's actually like if you think of it, it probably makes sense from his perspective because he's trying to align historical mythology when it comes to those three religions, and he's trying to align it with algorithm and all of kind of stuff like to fit his narrative to make more money. I know his tactics and his strategy. I know he works because he's always trying to attack people to make more fans because he knows how teenagers and those age like between 19, they like to listen to those kind of attacking people and all of that. So he took that advantage. I rate him for making money. But
Oh, but
sometimes
he's a very good reader. He is absolutely good. I have not sat down long enough to concentrate in such a minuscule area of space, and I'm doing this all alone. So, and I don't want to use it as an excuse, but I see what he does, and a lot of his stuff that he follows, falls into my realm because I know already. Now, are you saying the sun god R-A or R-A-H? Because
it's
remember, when you come to the word eight or H, right, there's a story that goes with it. H. Okay, how
because
can you spell it?
in
AC.
Egyptian, in Egyptian, Ra God is always has to do with the vision and has to do with dream world. That is different realm. That's what Ra means in the Quran and even from Egyptian mythology. But I don't think it's coincidence when it comes to those kind of especially similarities. Those people that made this matrix, they trying to make that in order for people to escape the matrix. They put those decodes, and do you get the point? What I mean?
Oh,
It's all
can I tell you something? Imagine you knew this. Imagine you knew you were coming here, and you signed on for, I mean, you get married, right? For whatever reason, you came here, you signed on, and there's a lot of stuff going down. We knew before. Now we're just putting up with it. The worst stuff is been happening is what we just noticed now. There's more of that EVIL now and deception now, I believe, than ever before. Well, I wasn't here before, so it's been going on forever, teaching us, upgrading us, teaching us, upgrading us for the final outcome to where we
You
move
know what I've
on.
heard? You know what I've heard? Have you heard about Anunnaki, Sumerians?
Yes, yes.
Have you heard about them? So one of like I had conversation regarding one of the someone who's Muslim. He's like he believes in the scripture Quran. By his analogy, he says, "Do you see those old prophets that were mentioned in Quran or the scriptures? These are not actually same. They don't share the same genetics as humans. They are from different realm. They came from different existence in order." These are actually representing Anunnaki. That's why they are different. For example, Noah in Old Testament, he lived near 900 years. So that couldn't align to our timeline or time frame. You get what I mean? So
Well,
they must be
900,
from
900 is a base 10, which means 90, and that's actually our coming into birth in this time period.
So do you
You-
think that's representing 90? It doesn't represent 900. So
No, I don't
regarding
think it's representing that. I also, there is
because why?
possibly,
Let's just say because I've read some of Old Testament. I've read it even in Arabic. Like you see the first like Genesis, like it starts with those first generation. They lived 1,000 years. Like one of them, they lived 1,000 years. One of them, they lived 2,000 years. So
in their
that
system, not in this system. When Moses split the sea and put, for me, when Moses split the sea, it was coming into this world, coming after the schooling they got from Pharaoh, after Pharaoh schooled them all on how to build cities and how to work in labor, right? Then they let them go. They parted their ways. They parted the sea, and it was over for them to move in new people into that land in order to continue on. I think it's like a different kind of story. And the 900 years would be from before, they crossed the sea.
no, I'm talking about the regarding the Noah's
Yes,
age.
before even
Noah,
Noah's age, the
Noah.
same thing.
I'm not talking about Moses. I'm talking about
We can
Noah.
do the same thing with Noah, same story. Until the flood came in, they were
So you
living.
don't believe in actually separating the sea, the ocean. You don't believe in that.
I believe something was separated. I don't know what.
About the Quran, because in the Quran is actually Allah says like He destroyed Pharaoh. He never kept Pharaoh. That's what I'm saying regarding the scripture.
Okay,
If I
well,
was
don't forget making something extinct as to a system of Pharaoh doesn't like I don't know who read what and how they transferred all the words, but I know when I read it and I
no,
listen.
in a nutshell, the story because I've read like regarding Moses and Pharaoh in the Old Testament, he has like similarities, but the message is different. When it comes to Quran, in a nutshell, Moses, he was tested from the because before Moses was before he came to existence, Pharaoh he had a vision, yeah, that some from lineage of Bani Israel, he will overcome he's going to overcome his kingdom. He's going to take his kingdom. Yeah,
So his words in vision. Now, don't forget that when we read stuff, we got to read it like shit. I have to go anyways. I'm going to be back later, but the word vision also a division of Zion.
Gareth, how long do you stay here with him? How long do you stay with him?
I think you've got a football match to go to, haven't you? Or you got soccer.
Yeah, I
you
got to
got
go to a
match,
game.
a
If you
game
want,
or
I can
something,
leave
game.
this on for you guys to chat, but I got to disappear. But listen, just before I finish, the word vision, okay, is beyond the word vision. First of all, with inside the word is 66. Also, S and I comes in the word 9 and 19. Okay, he got delivered.
You know 66.
The
number
V,
66.
the VI, the
1 second. Mr. Techpants.
Yeah.
Gareth, 66 in Arabic geometry is Allah. If you write Allah in Arabic geometry is 66, which represents vision. God, he can speak to God through vision. You understand?
You want to see something? Here,
And see, Allah in Arabic, if you write this Arabic gematria, you write Allah is going to give you 66.
Look, here's your 66. Here's number 7. It connects the left side with the right side. 766. 19.
12.
19. You want to see the other part that connects to this?
Yeah.
The other part that connects to this is 55. So this total here would be 29, 19, and 29. This is when the alpha, beta come together, passage to the moon into the house. I got to go. I'll speak to you later.
Thank you, man.
Till later.
Cheers.
When
Soon. Have a